Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This is for the Skirmish Officers set. This is my first try, and here's what I think. I think this Karen unit is going to be pretty good. Everything I can see so far, I think the Karen unit is going to be really good. She is coming out before, actually, the boomers. She's a boomer hero, and so that's the first time we've ever had that. We've never had somebody come out with a hero before seeing the unit, not to my knowledge anyway. So at any rate, since we haven't seen the boomers, then I don't know for sure, but I think that she's going to be a really good unit that you're not going to want to miss. So, as far as these skirmisher bases, I did do a video on the recruit set, and then I started on this one, and then I had some things happen I had to go take care of, and so the event is close to over by the time I'm actually getting to finish this officer set, and I'm pretty underwhelmed by the amount of points. Kixai once again showing themselves to be extremely, shall we say, generous. So I think that the best units for this whole deal are, if you have level 20, commandants. I think those are going to be the best unit. They shoot more rapidly, they have more firepower, and so on and so forth, and they're tougher. So the commandants are the better unit to use. However, I'm using a variety of janissaries, commandants, and hyperions, just because I only have 5 commandants available to me, because I'm using the rest of them elsewhere, and I don't feel like taking them out, and I don't feel like building any more either. I think 5 is all I need. I've been using 5 ever since they came out, and you know, that's all I need, to be honest. For the railguns, I think that again, the commandants are the best option there. There's also you can use mercs here. So if you have some ground mercs, I was using the splashers on the first recruit set, just checking them out, but they only work on air. And this is unnecessary to use this. I think I would have been just fine, and I really shouldn't have used the mercs, but if you have to, you can use the mercs. I thought that the railguns were going to be too much, but as I can see here, they're not doing too much damage, and I should have just used my commandants to just go straight up to them. And another thing is, for those floaters in the back, the janissaries can get to them easily, and so if you come in from this side, the janissaries are even better for that. But I was just trying out these mercs here. I do have another video that I'll be putting out. This is just my first try on the officer base, but I'm sure I'll get better at it, and I'll put a a video out. Now, what I'm wondering is the payouts are so low. I just don't know what Kixeye is thinking about these 1,000, 2,000, 12,000 for the recruit base, and then these are let's see, 4,000 was the first one, and so, and I think the second one was 6,000, and then the third one was a decent payout. I think it was 42,000. And I don't know what those numbers mean. 1,000, 2,000, and then 12,000, and then it was either 42 or 48. It might have been 48,000. I'm doing the voiceover on the video after I did the recording of the base, and so I already know what they were, but I can't remember. And there's not very much information on this. I was wondering if maybe it would double up the second time you did it, but it does not. And I was also wondering if maybe, like the heroic bases, if there was something in the store where you could increase your XP payout, but I don't see that either. So the store is kind of limited. The only thing that's in there that I'm going to be interested in is the Karen, and then so there's one other possibility which I have not tried. Maybe after you finish, maybe you can just do the Officer 3 base over and over again. I'll try that. I'll see if that's a possibility. And then we can, I'll put that out in another video. Now that would be okay as long as you could just do the Skirmish Officer 3 base, which, by the way, is probably the easiest base out of all of the officer bases. This one, I think, is the Officer 2 base, I think, is slightly easier than the Officer 1 base. And I have found in my experience that many times the higher bases are easier. For instance, in almost every case, I find the Shadow Ops 4 easier than the Shadow Ops 3. In almost every case, I find the Shadow Ops 4 to be easier than the Shadow Ops 3. And it didn't used to be that way, but now it basically is. So notice what I'm doing is I'm using one unit, trying to take all the damage on one unit, and then spreading them out, and then using the unit that has the least amount of damage to go in and take the next few hits, and that way I can spread the damage out where I want it. I know that if I were to just put this on Ruby, I'd clear the space. It would probably still be free repair, only it's not going to be as free repair as this is. This is absolutely free repair the way I'm doing it. You do want to try to stay out of the fire. The fire will cause you damage over time. Actually, believe it or not, the microwave turrets will cause you damage if you stand there long enough. Remember, the microwave turrets, the way that they work is they don't do much damage on the first shot, but every subsequent shot, I think, is doubled. And the longer you stay in within range of the microwaves, then the damage doubles every second or something like that. It doubles. So it starts out at nothing, but then it becomes something later. So if you stand within those microwave rays too long, even though you think the microwave is not a powerful turret, the longer you stand there, it becomes very powerful. It will destroy even a heavy-duty unit pretty quickly once it's been within its range for a couple of seconds. So yeah, basically just looking for the next unit that doesn't have too much damage on it. That's about it for the second base. $6,000 XP. I mean, can you imagine? 6,000 XP. and it's the next to the hardest, or next to the highest level base out there. So it's shocking. I know Kixeye can be very greedy, but and then the other thing is the prizes, rather than being 8 million each, the prizes have actually lowered down in their cost, and so that's a good thing. I mean, the prizes being millions and millions is sort of stupid. So from the SK Officer 2 base until this 3 base, you'll notice that like a day and a half transpired, and something came up I had to go take care of. So I basically have been gone for a day and a half, and I'm gonna try to knock this out now tonight before I go to bed. I don't think it'll be that hard. You might get really discouraged if you did the recruit bases and you saw that the payouts were 1,000 and 2,000. You might thought, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to get this finished? But do the officer bases. Don't worry about the recruit bases. If you're extremely low level, you can even get it done with the recruit bases. So I think that the way it should have been done is like the first time you did it, you got 2,000 and then 4,000 and then 6,000, and the more times you did it, the higher payout that you should get, but that's not the case. If you have a whole bunch of commandants, then that would probably be the better way to go. If your commandants are not level 20, they can't shoot air, so then you're going to be out of luck there, and you will need Janissaries because unless your commandants or your Hyperions are level 20, they cannot shoot air. Mine are all level 20, so they can all shoot air. But if you don't have level 20 units, then for the air, you're going to be stuck with the Janissaries. So then you're going to need a lot of Janissaries to take out those helicopters. The Janissaries do take out the standing helicopters, but the moving helicopters, that's going to be a problem for you. The Hyperions, even though they shoot air, are not good for the helicopters. They fire too slow, and they're not powerful enough. And I don't think they're, I'll have to check, but I think they have lower range. So I'm just using the Hyperions here to go in and knock out the barracks. It would actually be better, but this is a good thing here, because if you don't have a whole bunch of commandants, like most people probably don't, but me, it's a choice. I have max level of commandants that I could build if I wanted to, because my commandants are maxed out as far as how many I can build, but I only built a certain number, and I'm using the rest of them on my base as a defense. I don't like taking them out and moving them around. I could build more, but I like to have just limited amounts of units, not a whole bunch. I think my average number that I usually shoot for is 7, so I might build 2 more commandants. I've got all of the workshop for 7. I bought 7 when they first came out, and 7 would probably be better. So at this point, the only thing really back there, if you'll remember, this is a base that was, I think this was Shadow Ops base. I can't remember. I know this base is an old base that they reused, but they gave you a lot more time on it. But underneath that CC, there's a bunch of those exploding tanks, and so once those tanks are gone, this can totally be done on Ruby, and just clear it out. I think I took less damage on the Officer 3 base than I did on the 1 or the 2, but they're all 3 totally free repair. Okay, 42,000. I thought it was 42, yeah. So I'll do a test to see if we can just do that officer base over and over and over again. Maybe not. Maybe you can, or maybe you can't. I'll check it out, because that would be a way to really speed up the XP that you got. I find it to be probably one of the easier bases and the highest payout. You remember when we get our XP Ultras, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, they do pay out immediately. Like, you don't have to do the XP 1 through 5, you just go right to the Ultra, and because that payout is the only decent payout in the whole event, that's what I usually do. I just usually go straight for the Ultra. Well, guys, hope this was helpful. There's not a lot of prizes here, but you can catch up on things if you haven't gotten them yet. So, all right. Once again, have a good one. See you guys next time.